Hi, I'm Al Sutherland with your Mesonet Weather Report. Well, January was a warm one, and we start off today looking at alfalfa weevil heat units for January. Finishing up the month, Hugo comes in at 157 degree days. Why is that important? At 150, it's time to go out and scout alfalfa for weevil larvae. You'll notice that on the map of Oklahoma, over in the western side, the 100-degree yellow line dips down in the south, but on the east side of the state, it really climbs up to the north. So growers will have to watch in the days and weeks ahead on when they need to monitor their alfalfa. Checking in on our 4-inch bare soil 3-day average, we can see that Hooker comes in at 38. Then as we move down to the southeast, Idabel comes in at 49. How do soil temps this year compared to last year? Well, let's just take a picture of a moment in time. This is from noon, February 1st, and a map of the 4-inch soil temp under bare soil shows Goodwell coming in at 41 degrees, Oklahoma City at 48, and Idabel 58. That's for this year, 2012. Switching to a map for noon of February 1st, now 2011, we can see that the temperatures drop a good 10 degrees or more. Goodwell comes in at 31, Oklahoma City at 36, Idabel at 44. Using the same color scale, it's blue almost entirely across this map. Gary, how does January go down in the record books?
Thanks, Al. Last month was certainly one to remember. It was supposed to feel like January, but a lot of the times it felt like March. You can see from the Oklahoma Mesonet temperature map for January, most of the temperatures were in the 40s across the state, with just a few upper 30s in the Oklahoma Panhandle in the far northwest. Now that may seem a bit cold, but remember, that's highs and lows averaged together. Now across the state, temperatures were about 7 degrees above normal for the month, and that's the 8th warmest January since 1895. How about January precipitation? Well, it was certainly a mixed bag across the state. 5 to 7 inches fell down in far southeastern Oklahoma, with 7.11 inches falling at Lane. Boise City, up on the Oklahoma Panhandle, had no precipitation at all during the month. So in between there you had a mixed bag, but there's definitely a big difference between the haves and the have-nots during January. And no snow fell over most of the state throughout the entire month. To illustrate those differences across the state, check out this percent of normal rainfall map for January from the Oklahoma Mesonet. You can see much of south central and southeastern Oklahoma had greater than 180% of normal rainfall. In fact, it was the 9th wettest January since 1895 for south central Oklahoma. But you can also see in northwestern, north central, northeastern, and southwestern Oklahoma they had less than 20% of normal. And in fact, it was the 18th driest January for the Panhandle region. So once again, a large difference between the haves and the have-nots. Finally, the latest U.S. drought monitor map reflects that rainfall we had midweek last week. We now have no drought in much of southeastern and south central Oklahoma, with a slight reduction in drought along those lines. Unfortunately, we still have that extreme to exceptional drought out in western Oklahoma. So hopefully the latest rainfall can help with that. Now I know December and January were quite warm, but always an important thing to remember about winter. It ain't over till Mother Nature says it's over. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.